Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next episode review of Spy Family of Season 3, Episode 40. And more, we're getting back into Loid's tragic backstory when he was a kid. It was just, it is just. I thought it was going to just be. I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, oh my god, this is too much for me, because we see after he, he lied to his dad to buy the helmet and a toy gun, right? Going back to his friends, then he felt guilty and he went to stop. He was gonna go back and tell his dad the truth, right? All of a sudden, the bombs fall and the place where his friends were playing at got bombed. Now, of course, as I started watching this episode at first, I was like, "Oh, they're still alive," because I thought his friends. I didn't see that coming. Where his friends, I thought they died in that explosion in that warehouse. But later on, turns out they didn't. It was like, oh wow, I didn't see that coming. Wow. But he didn't. He didn't. But Loid didn't think. He assumed they died. So he got knocked out. He wakes up. The stall that he was at with who his auntie was talking to is now in shambles. She's gone. And so his mom made it out. So they had to go someplace else. And it's just so it's funny, like lying kind of saved his life basically. If he didn't do that and the guilt he felt, he probably would have ended up been dead in that warehouse where the bombs fell. So I guess by lying, which his dad told him not to, honor is the best thing, it saved his life. And of course, and like the whole thing, the whole politician saying, "Oh, everything's gonna be fine. There's no war." Which thing is that is, well, they of course they lie, but of course that's kind of reflecting thing how things in real life is how, well, politicians lie though, or everyone else lies. That's a real thing though. So, but not to point who though. Okay, I'm not getting into that now. So they go to another town thinking everything's gonna be okay. It's all over with, but nope. Bombs fall again. He gets pushed into the shelter. He gets out, and now his mom died. We don't see any remains, but his mom died. And this is where we get to the where we first saw Loid when he was a kid when he was crying. So it leads up to him crying and all surrounded by all the rubble. So, and then we jump to years later when he gets recruited to the army. He's fighting, and so, and this pretty much one of my favorite parts of this episode where he meets Frankie. Frankie, who's a soldier working on the other side, not with Loid's side. He's working on the other side, and say, "Hey, give the officer him a cigarette." And he's basically he tells like, "Hey, it's like either side tells who started this war, who right? It's like one side they tell the other side did, or then vice versa, right? And so, and Frankie goes and tells Loid the story that he sees like a film like where a woman slaps a guy. Um, now the reason, well, we don't know why, because maybe she started the fight, right? She started the fight by slapping the guy, but we show a little bit more of the context. Turns out the guy in the film was cheating on her, and then which leads up to the bitch slap. So he's like showing like how, oh, we don't know how this will start because we don't show how it all started beforehand, right? Which is ironic though, because like everything that Loid has done to like it's all about lies, right? He has to, if he, well, like I said, when he lied, it's practically saved his life as a kid, and now he is basically the world he's known to is full of lies basically, and but that's what's probably been keeping him alive probably. And then afterwards when he got injured, he's cutting up onions, and lo and behold, his three friends we thought were dead are alive, are alive. And so we see Loid crying again, and for this happy little reunion, he was happy, right? But his friends, they got recalled to another part of a unit, and that was the last time I saw him. And then this time they're dead for real because now Loid was holding their dog tags. So then one day he gets approached by this guy who used his identity. The guy is a spy for intelligence. He used Loid's identity. Now, um, now he did a little bit of source a little bit using a little bit of story. See, that's how he was able to tell his friends that he was still alive. And so, but and also he tells him his real name, but we don't hear Loid's real name. Of course, the Loid's like Loid is like is a pseudonym name, right? So we don't know. So where the guy is like, he's telling his real name, but we don't know his name. Now, maybe eventually Loid will come out and tell his family, um, Yor and Anya, that maybe eventually he will tell his real name, maybe, but we don't know though. And so he says he works for intelligence. Hey, why don't you consider being a spy? So one thing leads to another. He agrees and throws his little bag in the fire. So you don't need you have no identity. You have nothing left. So and he's like, well, that's fine because I have nothing left anyway, basically. And so and then as we jump into when he first meets the handler, and so then he wakes up because he wakes up on the couch because now it cuts to the present now. And it's like, why am I on the couch? Because you fainted because Anya got testosterone, or what are they called, a bolt. And so he's just like, oh, because all those nightmares or dreams, all those flashes just hit him all at once back then. And so, um, and he asked Anya, he's like, have you made friends with Damien? She's like, yeah. And it's like, good. Treasure your friends, basically. Otherwise, because he's telling Anya, because you do that, keep good with your friends and make friends. Otherwise, you're gonna end up losing them like he did. And so, and we see him making dinner. He's cutting onions again, like we saw him back in the camp. And now, will we see? Now, maybe we'll get another flash when we see him starting in the spy business. You becoming the master of disguise and all that stuff. Maybe. But it was just a very well made episode because it does focus on like the real life things of war and stuff, right? That I thought it was a very well crafted story arc, for Loid. Just like oh, there's not gonna be a war, but okay, there's not though, but there's lies because the bombs fall anyway, and just it's this realism of how war is, right? Especially if it looks like back in the days, like from World War One and World War Two. So I thought it was a very well was a well written, handled episode for this. And just like yeah, there is lies are all around. People lie all the time, though. And so the thing is with Loid, he has to lie to make peace, basically, because hey, yeah, he knows he's a lie to make this fake family to lie to do his mission, right? So I'm just like, well, maybe there will come a time when he doesn't have to lie no more, and so maybe he'll eventually tell the truth to Yor and Anya. And maybe eventually maybe they'll come clean of who they are or what they do. And so and who knows though, but it was a very well made episode though. I really enjoyed it. I was like, I'm a big fan of Spy Family. I loved it since day one when it first premiered, and so I loved it. And this episode, okay, his friends were alive the whole time, but then when they died afterwards, and the dog tag and all that, but it's like, oh, I didn't see that coming. They were alive the whole time. Because the reason why after he left, they ran after him, so they never got bombed in the first place. And it was, hey, Frankie, he was a soldier working on the other side though. But hey, I didn't see that either. He gets it when he first met Frankie. Nice. So But yeah, it was a great episode. It was an awesome episode. 10 out of 10 as usual for Spy Family. But yeah, but just Loid's whole backstory. It was so sad and tragic. Just I thought it was just to me it was just getting too much. I mean, I was like, how what else? What other tragic stuff they're gonna throw at me for Loid, right? So yeah, too much. But yeah. So anyway, that's episode 40 of Spy Family. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more and for more for Halloween month, and we'll see you next time. Later.